Hello everyone, I am Baltmatrix, and today we are looking at our favorite, very humble Space Shuttle Bird Lion Boy. This set comes from me from my good buddy Grim Lockamus. He just sent it over for me to review. I've got a version of this coming. I've got it ordered at the Hasbro Pulse and BBTS. It just hasn't shown up yet. But Grim was nice enough to send over his copy, and this will be going back to him. This box is it's big. It is a big, big box. But first, let's take a look at some of the artwork. We've got Earthrise, we've got the LYNX component. Hey there, little conehead boy. Then we've got more of this fantastic artwork going on up here. There's the sky component. It's real nice. And look, a ramjet. And then on the one side, we have thrust. In case you didn't notice, I'm really excited for the Coneheads. They've got to be coming. I mean, they just have to be. Here are the multiple modes. We've got the shuttle mode, we've got the bird and the LYNX mode, we've got the combined mode, and we've got his base mode. And then here's the artwork on the side of the... And then here's the artwork on the side, or the right side of the box. Just going to show it off. We've got Sideswipe, RC, Shockwave, Trailbreaker. I'm not sure who that is. I want to say that's Megatron, but no, Double Dealer, sorry. Wheeljack, Quintesson, Prime, Megatron, and look, Unicron. Hi, Unicron. But more than anything, I want to know who that is. Who's that poor bot? Now, if you pick this figure up, this is not going to be the packaging that you're going to get. Grim was nice enough to actually package it and wrap it up really tightly, or as tight as he could for me. The actual packaging is really kind of stupid because it's just twist ties. Not even twist ties, just those plastic zip ties. So that's all you get. We got the bottom component, the shuttle component, and then a whole bunch of blast components, the map for the galaxy, and then a decoder, a little red decoder piece there, still stuck in the box. I'm not going to bother doing the decoder piece just because it just flat out doesn't interest me. Out of the packaging, LYNX looks absolutely fantastic. The space shuttle mode and the carrier transport mode, or carrier transport cargo bay underneath, both work incredibly well. I don't particularly like the giant treads sticking off the back here. Not much you could do about that given the proportions of the figure. I like this mode a lot. It's big, it's chunky, it's heavy. The combined mode comes in at roughly 11 inches long, 6.5 inches wide, and just over 6 inches tall at the top of the tail fin. Hasbro licensed the NASA logo directly from the government organization, or the United States government organization, and they, in turn, allowed them to give the Space Shuttle mode its own unique name of Magnificence, which that name fits LYNX to a T. In this mode, the little blast gimmicks can be used on 3 of the rockets coming out the back. You can use the other 3 and combine them with the first 3 to make even bigger blasts coming out of the back of the shuttle mode, even if it is angled in an odd way. The shuttle can detach easily from the container by coming into the front and pushing down on this button. That will raise up the shuttle mode, and you can just lift it off and split the 2 components into each other. Well, just split the 2 components like this. The cargo shuttle bay is a big honkin' chunk of a brick. It does have these other thrusters that just pop right off. They can be wielded on either the front or the back. The directions say you should put them in the front for the shuttle mode. That's fine. The carrier mode also can open up and fold out this little door. And yes, smaller transformers, specifically Battle Masters, can fit in there, but they have a tendency to get stuck, so I'm just gonna leave it open for now. Alright everybody, we're going to go ahead and get into the base mode first, and then after the base mode we'll get into the individual robot modes. To start off with, we're going to take the cargo getator, unpeg the 2 thrusters, and just kind of put them off to the side. Then take the cargo container and flip it upside down so that the blaster ports are pointing or on the top, and then this piece right here, this gray piece, is pointing towards the sky. First, come to the front and unpeg the what will be the legs in the other cat form and open them up, and then just kind of rotate them down a little bit and get everything situated. And according to the directions, it wants you to flip these sections out, or the treads out, and turn them around like that, and just have them sit like this. Then we can come to the back and grab the entire back sections and open them up. Take the what would be the tails in LYNX mode and flip them out like that. Take the legs, fold them up, and undo them, and then point them to the sky like this, and turn them, and then grab the gang ramp and fold that out and put it down, and then take this section and fold it up, and that's pretty much it. The only other things to do with the base mode would be to flip down these connector panels that can connect to anything else in the Siege or the Earthrise line, and then add the cannons to the pegs that are underneath the toes. Now you can do the cannon mode like that, or have it vertical like that. I prefer double cannons. Finally, we can put the space shuttle mode onto the top. Now, one thing I do need to show is there are pegs here and here that will drop into the back of the thrusters, and there's an open peg that that final thruster can just rest in. So bring it down, line it up, and just plop it down into place, and then grab the cargo bay doors, open them up, and come in here and extend the little ladder, and that will just rest right there on the edge of the cargo bay. And that is the base mode. I think the base mode is a good touch. I do like it. It is a little bit fiddly, and when you transform the cargo bay into the LYNX form, things don't tend to stick together all that well, but it is something different, and it works pretty darn well. And yes, you can attach this base mode to Omega Supreme. I just don't have the room to show you. All right, let's go ahead and return the base mode to the container ship, and then we'll transform the container into the LYNX mode. So just pull the shuttle and the other bits off, fold the ramp up, fold this ramp up, fold the two side ramps up, flip in the exhaust ports, close the sides up, and then we can fold the toes and peg them back in, and do the same thing in the front. Crack, crack, snap, crackle, pop. Sky LYNX. Okay, so for the beast mode, first come up to the front here and pull down the panel for the blasters, and then flip out the LYNX head, close that panel back up, unpeg the legs and fold them down, and flip out the toes, and do that on both sides. And see what I was saying? These just pop off, and then flip out the twin tails, like that, and that is the LYNX mode. Now this LYNX mode is something cool. That head sculpt alone is simply gorgeous and has quite a bit of range of posability, so it could go side to side, up and down. The mouth opens, it's got a little blaster in there, and if you're careful enough, you can fit one of the blasting gimmick things onto the tip of the gun. That is his tongue, which I like a lot. The rest of the posability for Kitty mode is really good, and it's super ratchety, so if you don't like the clicks, minimize or silent the video now. Ratchet for forward and back, ratchet for in and out, swivel at the upper elbow of the Kitty mode. There is a double hinge here, though getting it to actually hinge is a little tough. And then ratchet at the toe, and then lots of bending here on the toe. So you could get quite a bit of good poses out of this figure. And it's real strong, like really strong. And it looks really good. A quick size comparison of the LYNX mode with Earthrise Prime, Siege Ultra Magnus, and Siege Commander Class Skyfire, or Jetfire. Now that we've taken a look at Space Kitty, let's take a look at the Space Shuttle itself. The shuttle itself is molded pretty darn well. The only real issues that I have with the mold is the wings have a tendency to come unpegged pretty easily. The tail fin does not stay up very well. As soon as you touch it, it rolls over. And this back compartment has a tendency to unpeg pretty darn easily. Otherwise, though, it's really good. I mean, those are just minor complaints. In this mode, it does have landing gears that you can flip out from the bottom underneath the wings and from the nose cone, so you can just have it in sitting on a table like that. Works well. I haven't found a good way to put it on a stand. It is pretty heavy for its size. I would think that you should be able to put a stand peg or one of the larger pegs right here so you can have it flying in space. None of my pegs or none of my stands will actually hold this thing up. It's just too heavy. Transformation into bird mode is easy, like nice and easy. To start off with, come to the wings and just gently unpeg them and fold them up like this. And fold them down at the other hinge, and they just kind of rest on the side of the fuselage like that. Then where the wings pegged in are the actual dino feet, so flip them out and fold them down and give him his space chicken legs. Come to the back and unpeg the thrusters and flip them off, or flip it off to the side, then grab the wing and unfold it and pull the tail wing all the way out. And then you can close the thrusters up or just leave them opened. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. And there we have the tail of the Dino Bird mode. Then come to the blue sections underneath the wings and fold out the full wings like that. I'll show you how I did it over here. Oop, that came unpegged. Like so. And then grab the front of the shuttle mode and just pull straight out, and you get his full bird head. And here we have LYNX in his bird mode. Hold on, let me get that pose so it doesn't fall over. In the bird mode, LYNX is a little bit unwieldy, or in this case, the sky part is just a little bit unwieldy. Yeah, the heaviness is really in the wings and in the fuselage. The head isn't that heavy, but the neck is pretty heavy. Opening the mouth, he has another blaster, which you can then attach the little blasting gimmick to. And as long as the blasting gimmick is big enough that it can, or small enough that it can fit inside the mouth, you're fine. Posability of this thing is crazy. So you've got side-to-side movement. You've got quite a bit of ratcheting joints. Like all of these joints are ratcheting. Head can move side to side, and it is on a ratchet. Mouth open and closes. Wings. Unfortunately, this piece, this swivel here or hinge is not a ratchet, but that is. And that is not really a ratchet, but it is a connector port piece. So you can pose the wings pretty darn well. Legs, ratcheting in and out, ratcheting back and forth, ratcheting at the knees, a swivel, and then ratcheting at ankle, and then another hinge, and then the tail has multiple points of articulation that you can see here. So yeah, this whole thing, pretty darn freaking posable, and big, and wide, like really wide. Oh, yeah, the swivels have a tendency to pop off. They just pop right back on. No big. And a quick size comparison again, the fuselage is much longer than these two figures combined. And as you can see, LYNX's head, or Sky's head, comes almost up to the same head height as Jetfire. Bird and Beast together make a good combination. I like the way these two look together. It's a lot of fun. Both of these figures are really cool, and I'm glad that they weren't sold separately. I'm glad that they're sold in one Commander class set, unlike, MMC. All right, let's go ahead and get these two combined up. To start with, we are going to put the bird off to the side, and for the LYNX, all we're going to do is fold the head up and close the compartment, and that's it. So we'll put that off to the side. For Sky, all we're going to do is fold the legs up and get them pegged into place where they should be going, like that, and like that. So me being silly, I forgot that you actually need to hook the back part in first. There's a little channel here that peg will hook into. So get that lined up, get that hooked into place, and then push this down until you hear it snap. And if you've got it done correctly, then it's not going to go anywhere. But I don't have it done correctly, so the back is flopping around. This LYNX figure is a big bird. It's impressive. It really is impressive. I like this thing a lot. This set is a lot of fun, highly posable, really good looking, and magnificent, I would say. There are minor, very minor flaws that I've already talked about, but overall, it's just a solid toy. I mean, here are the two Commander class figures together. Jetfire, in and of itself, is a great figure, and so is LYNX. And I'm really kind of scratching my head. Who else are they going to be able to put at this size scale? Especially from G1. I'm having trouble coming up with an idea. They've already got an Omega Supreme. Earthrise Prime again for scale. And I gave some thought to the question of who could they do next. And in the US, not much. Maybe a Galvatron, but then that would be a leader class. Maybe a Quick Switch or a six-shot. But again, we've already gotten a six-shot in Titan's Returns, and Quick Switch, he might be okay for a six-changer at this size class, considering that the Commanders are only Autobots thus far. Now, moving away from the US-centric stuff, maybe Star Saber, maybe Diatlas, maybe Power Master, Ginrai from Master Force, maybe an Overlord. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So I got this figure from my friend Grimlockamus. This is going to be going back to him because he lent it to me for a review. I've got my own version of the figure coming from the Hasbro Pulse. Hasbro Pulse has been really slow lately in getting their figures. I think it's an excellent figure. Posability is top-notch. It holds together well. And once you figure out a few little intricacies, it's just a lot of fun and definitely worth having in your G1-centric collection. Well, that's Earthrise and Siege anyway. So folks, let me know what you think of this figure down in the comments. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you next time.